DeSanto Propane is 4 generations strong as a trustworthy, family-owned business with unmatched customer service. Go online at DeSantoPropane.com for more info or call toll-free at 1-800-752-4574 today. Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into Bills Weekly here on FingerLakes1.com. Off the bye week, Paul Russo, Jim Sinicropi, and Kyle Evans here with you. It's a pretty quiet past 7 days for the Buffalo Bills, so we'll touch on a couple things from the week, see how everything's shaken out after the Bills had the off day yesterday, and look ahead to this weekend against the Carolina Panthers. Before we get further, thank a couple more of our sponsors, including Nolan's Catering. Planning a special event? Let Nolan's Catering help you curate your next occasion. Now booking special events at Hotel Canandaigua, Tapestry Collection by Hilton on Lakeshore Drive, the Fallbrook House at the Canandaigua Country Club, or Nolan's on South Main Street in Canandaigua. Nolan's is ready to curate a food and beverage package perfect for any occasion. From elegant weddings to corporate events and private parties, enjoy the moment knowing Nolan's has it covered. To plan your perfect event, you can visit nolansonthelake.com. And Seneca Falls Acupuncture, offering personalized treatments for pain relief, women's health, digestive symptoms, cosmetic acupuncture, and more. Helping you look and feel your best naturally. Book your appointment online at senecafallsacupuncture.com to experience award-winning care right here in the Finger Lakes. All right, Jim, welcome back to the studio.
Yes.
Maybe before we get further, just quick hits. Last week, since you weren't here, obviously, coming off the loss. Maybe it's a little bit different now because it's a full week after.
Do you digest it?
Yeah, to the Bills' loss. So maybe you're better off in this case than we were last week a little bit to offer some thoughts after the loss of the Falcons on Monday Night Football last week.
Well, I listened to you guys. I agreed with mostly what you said, but I mean, you can't put enough emphasis on what an advantage it is for a team coming off a bye.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing. Atlanta was coming off the bye. But, if you're looking at things that the Bills could have done different, it's like, how about keeping James Cook involved in the game plan till the end of the game? And how about, if you're that good of a team as we think the Bills are, especially on offense, then why are you running like jet sweeps to Elijah Moore? So with all that, with Atlanta coming off the bye week, it's going to be a tough game on the road.
Mm-hmm.
But the Bills shot themselves in the foot. They still could have won that game if they didn't turn the ball over and have the penalties. I mean, the Bills were the least penalized team in the NFL for the first 4 weeks. In the last 2 weeks, they're the most penalized. Like, what happened?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not too much to be concerned with, but, what is a little disappointing is after the 4-0 start, the Bills look like the best team in football, and now, if you just stack them up by rankings, by records and total points and tiebreakers and stuff, they're not even top 5 anymore.
Yeah, I think that kind of goes in a little bit. I know, Kyle, me and you were talking a little bit off air. Obviously, in terms of behind them in the division, at the very least, Miami and the Jets are they're off on whatever island we want to put them on.
They're not even Jets or Bills aren't even in first place in the division anymore.
Right. That's the thing. The Patriots go out to Tennessee yesterday and pad that little extra cushion they had with the Bills on the bye week. So not, as great as maybe the outcome some Bills fans hope for. And again, the Patriots kind of look to be the part, at least at the moment, coming out of Week 7 in the NFL.
And remember, on the standings, it looks like they're only a half game behind, but it's really 1.5 because they have the
Lost to them.
tiebreaker. Yeah. And of course, they'll play again one more time, and you definitely don't want to lose that game. But yeah, I looked at the
That
Patriots.
game will be in New England.
Yeah, that too. And I looked at the Patriots' schedule. I mean, it's kind of like the Bills. I mean, they have some easy matchups coming up, at least on paper. It's the NFL. We've seen yesterday how ridiculous it can get.
Mm-hmm.
But they do have the Browns coming up, while the Bills, of course, are in Carolina. So yeah, I mean, really, the Bills have to be careful here before it gets too out of hand early.
And I will say this, the Bills are no really better, worse, or off than they were last year. Like I still think they're gonna, end up winning the division. And I think they're gonna, go into the playoffs as one of the favorites and get to the AFC Championship game most likely.
Mhm.
But that's not what we were thinking. Like a few weeks ago, we were thinking they were Super Bowl favorites. Like they were favorites to get to the Super Bowl, and they were the best team in the AFC. And now there's all these questions, and so the sky isn't completely falling, but definitely don't feel as confident about the Bills getting to a Super Bowl, let alone winning one, as we did 2 weeks ago.
I think Joe Brady said it well last week. The urgency needs to be turned up more too.
Yeah.
They come out some of these games, they just look flat. I'm not saying that really was the case in Atlanta because they came out and had an opening drive touchdown, but like against the lesser teams like the Saints and whatnot, it just kind of looked like sometimes it just like we said they're bored.
Right.
To turn up the intensity and get going, like this is the time to really lock it in.
Yeah, it's a pretty good way to put it. Obviously, I know a couple people asked me, I'm like, this kind of played a little too close to fire. They're playing with their food, whatever cliche you kind of want to use it, and it finally bit them the 2 weeks going into the bye week, quite frankly. So there's that.
They got to get back to doing what they do best, and that's let Josh Allen make plays and let James Cook run the ball, or catch the ball and run the ball, but get the ball to James Cook like for all 4 quarters of the game. And the most disappointing thing is like the receiving course.
Yeah.
I'm don't want to include Shakir in there because he's been like the lone bright spot, I guess, but even he's been a little bit underwhelming. And, Keon Coleman's been the biggest disappointment. Did you know that Keon Coleman through the first 6 weeks has 3 more receiving yards than Josh Palmer?
That's crazy.
And you wouldn't even think that by what?
Palmer had that 47-yarder on the opening drive in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So he got a big chunk of his yards right on that
back
play.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coleman has 237 yards and Palmer has 234.
Yeah.
So and again, it just shows that Coleman probably isn't like the number one type of guy that we need to get us to the next level. He's only a sophomore, and but let's see how he performs coming out of the bye. But
While we're on this, I heard this morning from like a Buffalo radio station. When healthy, when Gabe Davis gets healthy, would you consider giving him a start over Keon Coleman and making Keon Coleman a healthy scratch, just to see what Gabe Davis could give you?
Geez, man. I mean, Gabe Davis was fun when he was on the Bills, but you got to remember all the bad parts of him too, which why he isn't there anymore. Like he would have like these big games, and then he'd like have key drops.
I think it's just to see if he could give you a little more juice. He could catch the ball. I mean, he's tall like Keon Coleman. He can be an end zone threat.
Better deep threat than Coleman. Coleman's. Yeah, how can you give up on this guy though? It's just it's like I want to shake him and be like, come on, let's go, catch the ball. The things that kill me with Coleman the most are the over the shoulder hook routes. When you run down the sideline, you see a lot of the talented receivers and quarterback combos they get on that same plane, and he turns and the ball's there. Well, I've seen like 4 or 5 times this year where Allen's delivered the ball where it kind of needs to be, and Coleman just can't catch it. It's like he's not expecting it soon enough, or he bounces off a shoulder pad.
Yeah.
And then the other thing with Coleman is, all right, okay, the one thing that Coleman's supposed to do is be like a contested catch guy. Like, he can go up and get it. That's that. He's not super fast, but he is big, and that's his thing. But he's lost 50-50 battles all year long for contested balls. So, like, what's he doing? Maybe let's put Gabe Davis in. I mean, that's crazy. That's a big step back, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
I don't know, because Keon Coleman's been that bad.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know if you necessarily healthy scratch him, but you put Gabe in his spot in the starting rotation. You know what I mean?
And at least Josh Allen and Gabe Davis have prior chemistry. I mean, there was a few big games. I mean, remember that AFC Championship game in Kansas City?
Yeah.
I mean,
Davis would have huge games.
Yeah.
But then he would just have terrible games too.
Yeah, you're right.
So I don't know, but yeah, I mean, Keon Coleman's never had a big game.
Right.
It's tough.
Maybe like one, I think, 100-yard game ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, from your top draft pick and the guy given the number 1 spot. So I don't know. I mean, trade deadline's coming up in a couple weeks. Like, what are they going to do? Get another guy like Amari Cooper a couple years ago, like last year, or what?
He's still available. Okay.
Yeah. Look,
He is, but
I think it's tough, right? Because you don't want to necessarily lose Coleman in the sense of, like, I guess the mental element of it, right? But it's a guy that we know has had a little bit of a disciplinary issue
that too.
in
Twice.
in the office. I think that's why you have to tread the fine line. Like, I don't know if you necessarily healthy scratch him, but I think, you put Davis in a spot in the rotation as a starter, and more or less maybe have that be your final strike with him kind of deal. I don't know.
Or I'm thinking maybe they test it out before they go out and try to make a trade for a receiver. That's their thinking. Of course, from the outside, we think they should go make a trade.
Yeah.
Right.
But from inside perspective, don't you think they're just going to maybe, when he's healthy, give him an opportunity to see what they have before they go out and make that trade?
Yeah, I don't even know who you get if
Yeah.
you look at the trade.
Yeah, we were kind of hypothesizing that last week, and it kind of appears maybe you'd have to go to Tennessee to try and find somebody more than likely in the sense of quality meeting whatever.
Like Calvin Ridley?
Well, Ridley, Lockett's there, but
Lockett
Ridley was out. What's the deal with Ridley anyway?
Not sure.
So there's
I think it's long term, though.
so you don't want to hitch your wagon to another health issue, obviously.
Kobe Myers, but I don't think he'll end up in Buffalo.
Who was also out yesterday too.
Yeah.
So
Well, I look at, we're banging on Coleman, but also disappointing has been Josh Palmer to some extent.
well,
$36 million guy.
Right. And Shavers and Elijah Moore.
Yeah, Shavers made the team with a really good preseason, but now we see why he hasn't been on a team.
Right.
yeah,
I mean, he hasn't played a ton either, but when he's on the field, I mean, I think he's had maybe 2 catches.
yeah.
So who do you blame? You got to blame the guy at the top that evaluates the talent and signs the contracts.
Yeah.
He couldn't deliver us a capable wide receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's fair at this point. Again, something me and Kyle did discuss a little bit last week. You have to pin a little bit of this for sure on Bean in terms of bringing, the stuff to the table.
Because all across the league, there's guys like Kendrick Bourne for San Francisco. He'd be great on the Bills right now. I mean, almost anybody.
Yeah.
You could take, Xavier Legette from Carolina. Like, I'm just talking about run-of-the-mill wide receivers. The guys that we got can't seem to, Rondé Gatson had a great game in San Diego yesterday. He's a
Goddamn right.
great end, but like there's just so many out there, and we got these guys that just are underperforming.
Yeah, I hear you. It's tough, especially this will tie in a little bit here for some injury update stuff. But Palmer, he's week to week right now. Came out last week dealing with that ankle injury he had, obviously, in the first half against Atlanta now. So, again, right there goes, if you're hoping to find a guy to also turn around what he started, now that's kind of out the window, at least going forward, at least in the immediate. So, I don't know. It's a tough kind of window to navigate right now.
All the Kumbaya stuff is gone.
Yeah.
After these back-to-back losses and this bye week, like it's not now the Bills are going to have to put up or shut up. They're going to have to go, God forbid they lose to Carolina, but obviously I don't think they will. It is on the road, but the Bills are coming off the bye week this time. But then Kansas City, so they can totally right the ship over the next 2 weeks with 2 wins, and everybody be happy again. But they lose one of those 2 games. Kansas City's at home. So, anyways, it just seems like it's a little frustrating because we got this all-world quarterback, and our leading receiver has 268 yards on the season, and that's Shakir.
Yeah.
Actually, leading receiver Kincaid has 287 yards on the year through the first 6 games. But
Remember, he didn't play in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not saying, maybe they would have pulled out a win with him, but, he was definitely missed in that game.
He's their leading receiver.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a good thing for this Bills team to have their tight end be the leading receiver.
I mean, I don't view it as a bad thing, but the caveat to that is if this offense was running at full steam, and it's just not.
There's no explosiveness.
Yeah.
Like the explosive play comes when James Cook breaks one off,
Yeah. Yeah.
But also remember the one game against the Jets, it was basically just a running game. I mean, they were up big. They just kept running
that's
it.
true.
So they didn't need to have a passing game. So that kind of threw down the numbers a little bit too. But yeah, you're right. I mean, the offense is definitely not clicking as a whole right now.
No.
If you multiply these numbers by a full season, the Bills' leading receiver is going to have like 600 yards at the end of the year. I mean, not very good.
No.
When you got an all-world like MVP quarterback,
Yeah.
That you're not letting him always do what he should be able to do and just let him go and give him the ball. Give him and James Cook the ball. Let them lose by them making the mistakes.
right?
You'd
Not
live with
Elijah Moore
that. Yeah.
dropping a handoff.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's get in a couple injury updates. I mentioned the Josh Palmer one already. Daquan Jones, who left Monday Night Football in a walking boot. Sean McDermott says he is also.
Remember, he got hurt
right.
pregame.
He has said that McDermott has said he's also week to week. His injury is actually a calf issue. So, not to like this isn't basketball weekly, but if it's a calf and he was in a walking boot,
He said it popped.
yeah, my main concern there would be the Achilles, which would be a huge,
Well, no.
as we've seen now, devastating deal. But yeah, week to week there.
We'll know
Yeah.
in 2 days when
Yeah.
McDermott talks.
Yeah. Terrell Bernard, day to day with his ankle injury, also suffered in Monday Night Football. Again, part of the bye week being so quiet is the fact that they don't have these exact updates.
How about
He
Milano?
came back and played, though, Bernard.
Correct. Yeah. So
Milano got any chance of coming back?
Milano, I have the red dot of out still. So not looking great on that front.
So while you're talking about these injuries, we talked about the offensive concerns.
Yeah.
The defense is last in the NFL in yards allowed per carry. 5.8. 5.8. I mean, my God.
And to kind of go in a little bit to previewing this game coming up, you're going into a team that's running game has really exploded over the course of the past few weeks.
Rico Dowdle
Yeah.
and Chuba Hubbard?
Yeah.
Doesn't look like they will be able to.
Well, what's funny, though, about that stat, remember Bijan Robinson, what he did against the Bills, but look at the end of the day, they only scored, 7 points in the second half, the
Right.
Falcons? And really, I mean, that first quarter was really the difference in the game, and when they put up 14, after that, Atlanta scored 10 points in 3 quarters.
Yeah.
And so that's what I was telling Paul last Monday. Yeah, the numbers, the box scores don't look good. But at the end of the day, points is what matters.
Yeah, outside of week one, the Bills defense has held the opponent to a point total that the offense should easily be able to overcome.
Yeah.
22 points per game is over the 6 games this year they've allowed.
Yeah, it goes back to the thing I say every week with them. They bend but don't break.
Yes.
And
10, 21, 19, 23, 24.
yeah.
With that Bills offense, those should literally almost
All be wins.
Yeah, wins. The first game was probably, of
41
course,
to
the loss
40.
they should have against Baltimore.
Right.
It's a miracle comeback. Aside from that, they should be rolling with that. Even though as bad as it looks on paper and as bad as it looks when you're watching, I mean, again, it's points that matter, not the yards. You win with limiting the points.
Yeah. Hey, at the end of the day, we've seen that time and time again in the NFL, and again, go back to it. The Bills' defense is they're doing enough of their job to leave the offense in a good enough spot to try and capitalize, and we haven't seen it the past few weeks.
Yeah.
So this game against Carolina is going to be interesting too. I think not enough people at the moment. To be fair, it's early, but Bryce Young, Carolina's quarterback, hurt his ankle. X-rays were negative, but
Walking boot.
we'll see exactly how much that translates though through the week. If it's not him, it's the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, which is your center.
Who helped the Bills many years ago get into the playoffs.
Yep.
2017, I believe it was.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's not that big of a drop down at all.
Yeah. So
Dalton can capable backup for sure.
You can air it out
yep,
against that Bills secondary. Oof,
it's true.
never know.
Especially if they're able to run the ball and 5.8 yards per carry.
Yeah.
That would open up the pit some deep. Anyway, I predict we're going to see a different Bills team come out of the bye, and we're going to feel more comfortable. And then once they beat Kansas City on November 2nd, everything will be hunky-dory again. Might even be back in first place in the AFC East.
How about this? The Bills are 8-0 following a bye week since 2017, and only the Steelers at 9-0 have a better record over that span. So yeah, they come out of that bye week on firing.
It'd be nice. Vegas says they expect the Bills to win by at least a possession, 7.5 right now.
And it has not changed.
And it has not. You were right.
Because Carolina's kind of hot.
Yeah.
I think they're also looking at the point total yesterday, 13 against a lousy Jets defense. Even though Bryce Young and Forrest left, but up until then, they didn't do much.
No. Yeah, the Jets defense woke up yesterday anyway, but
2 straight games.
Yeah.
Remember, they held Denver to 13 in London and
Yeah.
still lost.
Yeah. So these both games they lost.
Yeah, held Carolina to 13 and lost. Yeah. Interesting part, Carolina undefeated at home, 3-0. The Bills 1-1. If you really get into the deep stuff like that to get your notes and information and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm with you guys. I at least hope this is a different Bills team that kind of comes out of the bye week. I don't know. It was quiet. We didn't hear anything. It's always interesting. Let me preface it this way. During most bye weeks, some players from teams go back. They do whatever. For example, Baltimore was the other team on the bye this week. Saw Kyle Van Noy out at BYU, his alma mater, for their game against Utah. Big rivalry game, stuff like that. Again, could be wrong, but I didn't see anything with any Bills player kind of anywhere, which I think is pretty, indicative of maybe the message that was delivered by the coaching staff, I'm assuming Tuesday and Wednesday last week during team meetings and stuff like that. Well, at least I would hope.
McDermott always likes to tell his guys on camera, stay out of trouble. I've heard him say that many a times.
True.
And they kind of do. A lot of other teams you hear incidents, not the Bills.
Yeah. Well, there's not a ton to do in Buffalo to...
Josh Allen always says that.
Correct.
There's not a lot to do in Buffalo.
So
we hang out at each other's houses.
Right. So, I don't know. I kind of like I said, I like, at least on paper, right, the Buffalo chances here against Carolina. I don't know. That being said, if you're the betting man, the betting type, Carolina getting a touchdown and a half is kind of tantalizing there. 7.5. But I don't know. I like the Bills' chances outright in this game for sure.
Yeah, I would too. 7.5 point favorites. They better.
Yeah.
Again, coming off the bye weeks, it's a real thing. Not only the Bills, even though they are the best, second best. I guess Steelers are the best coming off the bye in the past 10 years, but you see that across the league for the most part. It's a huge advantage getting a week off before playing an NFL game against a team who didn't get a week off. You get the extra time to prep. You get the extra time to heal. You're rested. So I would expect the Bills to come out and handle business, and then all eyes will turn towards Kansas City when they come to town.
That is,
they
though,
are looking good.
That is a worry, though, I do have, is
looking ahead to Kansas City?
Potentially.
I don't know how you can look ahead to anybody after coming off 2 straight losses.
No, the Bills have never had that problem under McDermott where they look ahead. There's so many lousy teams that, this is a trap game. No, they usually beat them. The Falcons, I don't consider that a trap game. The Falcons are coming off a bye. They're good.
Yep.
Patriots, division rival. They've had close games in the past. I don't consider that a trap game either. I think the Bills do a very good job of beating the lousier teams and under McDermott the last several years.
Yeah. It's just the New England loss is just super disappointing because it was at home.
Yeah.
You don't like to see that. It was really the game that flipped the script on the AFC East.
Yeah.
Heading into that game, you're thinking the Bills almost got this wrapped up, especially if they win that game, and then they lose at home and
on a field goal. You tie it up late too.
Now it's a different story.
Yeah.
They do travel to New England for the rematch in Week 15. That's December 14th, 1 o'clock game.
And who knows what the weather will be in that time of year at that place.
Or where both these teams will be.
Yeah.
Could New England's fade over the course of, the next, what would it be, about 8 more weeks before they meet again? Will New England kind of fade and the Bills get their mojo back, or will both teams play well and that be the game for the division?
I hope they haven't lost their mojo. Hope they're able to find it.
The Patriots or the
No,
Bills?
the Bills.
Yeah.
Come on.
The Bills got to find it. The Patriots could have found it.
Right. We need to keep it out of the hands of Dr. Evil. So.
Patriots get Kansas City coming up, I think, in 4 weeks, too.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to do game predictions here? Lock them in?
For Carolina. Okay, sure.
All right. I'm going Bills 29, Carolina 23.
Ooh, close.
I think the defense stays at that kind of number that they've been averaging, but like I said, I do think Carolina covers at 7.5 right now, so that's what I'm sticking with.
I don't. I think Bills 30, Panthers 16.
38?
30
Oh,
to 16.
all right. I like that.
31-13.
Ooh. Palindrome.
Bills win. No, like I said, the Bills should come out and win this game easily.
It's part of it.
But they might not. Anything because the NFL is crazy.
Yeah.
The NFL is really just an absolutely crazy league where you never know what's happening next.
Yeah, that's for
Teams
sure.
that we thought after 2 weeks were gonna start tanking for draft position or back in contention for. I mean, I don't know, let's look at the standings here.
Yeah.
Like you got the.
I mean, hell, games that you thought were over completely changed in a matter of 8 minutes.
I mean, the Colts are 6-1.
Yep.
But the class of the league. Then you got like teams like the Jaguars at 4-3, the Bengals at 3-4. The Chargers are 4-3, the Chiefs are 4-3, Broncos are 5-2, even though they should have been 4-3 because the Giants. And that's just in the AFC. In the NFC, look at the NFC East. The Eagles are 5-2, Cowboys are 500, Commanders are 1 game under. Packers 4-1, Lions 4-2, Bears 4-2, Vikings 3-3, Bucks 5-1, Panthers 4-3, Falcons 3-3. I mean, the Falcons were supposed to go to the Super Bowl after beating the Bills. They're just 3-3, but like all these teams, 49ers, Rams, both 5-2, Seahawks 4-2. There's a lot of good football teams out there.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine if you're a Cardinals fan today. They started 2-0. They've now lost 5 straight by 4 points or less. And one of those games we talk about all the time is when he fumbled at the goal line. And
Gave it away.
came back for their first win. I mean, imagine being a Cardinals fan today. And Jacoby Brissett's playing well.
Yeah. He has been.
But I think if you're a Giants fan, you kind of feel worse because you finally have your quarterback. You're on the road in Denver. You're up 19-0, and you somehow find a way to lose.
Yeah.
It's almost like impressive that you found a way to lose. Like how? There was like 6 minutes to go, and it was 28-6 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I didn't check the money line on the Giant or
Neither
on
did
the
I,
Broncos at that point, but it had to be over.
Yeah.
It had to be like 1,500, 2,000.
For sure.
Had to be.
The Packers, by the way, those Super Bowl contenders that everyone thought they
Yeah.
were.
Exactly.
Still could be, but
Yeah.
I mean, 3 weeks in a row, they are not impressive.
No.
There's not, outside of maybe the Colts, there's not a team in the NFL that isn't somewhat in the same situation as the Bills are right now. Like one of the top teams that you consider going into the season as being Super Bowl contenders. The Bills aren't alone in this. Everybody's got questions. The only real thing that's changed since the beginning of the season is that Baltimore is like, kind of done, right? Are they done?
Yeah, I think they're like
Should-
they'll like fight, but I don't think
Do you want me to abstain because I hate Baltimore that much?
No, I'd want you to participate because you hate Baltimore.
Well, look.
that much.
I'm happy about it because it's just finally proven my point about Harbaugh and that team as a whole. So,
Well, injuries.
yeah.
I mean, you can't lose Lamar Jackson.
yeah, they have had a lot of injuries. Like
This was
it's
even
unfair
before,
to
though.
like their defense especially. Their offense
No. See, that's where I'm gonna push back.
No, they're
They love talking about how great that defense is anyway. No.
Oh, I'm a Ravens hater. I'm the number 1 Lamar hater, but I'm telling you, too many injuries to overcome. I mean, losing Lamar was just gigantic. Cooper Rush to Lamar.
Well, that's on. But that's on them. That's one of my things. It's like, on what planet did they think like Cooper Rush is a fine backup for Lamar?
Well, they have to change. They have to change their whole style going to Cooper Rush. If they could have got like maybe an Anthony Richardson or something.
And look, I'm not going to be whatever, but at least if they brought back Snoop Huntley, you're running the same style of offense with Snoop that you are with Lamar. You aren't doing that with Cooper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, That's my thing. Like,
Keep in mind the Bills came back in miracle fashion in Week 1, and against Detroit, Derrick Henry fumbled. I mean, there could be 3 extra wins. They could have 3-4 wins right now.
Right, and be holding on, hoping that Lamar can come back.
And again, I hate the Ravens. I'm not trying to make. I'm just saying, like, it is true.
I'm just going to smoke that Ravens pack while I can.
There's not a guy I can't stand listening to more than freaking Lamar Jackson at the podium. I mean, he can't speak English. He's like, they just gave him a job. Like, yeah, I can't stand him.
Yeah, I'm not a big Lamar fan either.
Either way, I'm just, like I said, if I can get the Steelers to lose like one more game, like, it's going to be great. We'll be victory lapping the whole AFC North.
I think one of the biggest stories, or maybe not biggest stories, but biggest surprises or things that surprised me this season is that the Raiders under Pete Carroll are so bad.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but like, hey, if you paid attention to the FON Sports Betting podcast, I did not. I whiffed bad on that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been guilty of that too with the Raiders this year because I thought Pete Carroll is a good coach who's gonna, finally get this organization that seems to have a lot of talent, on a winning trajectory. But
what?
Disaster.
Yeah.
Did you see the stat of the year? I'm calling it the stat of the year. The Chiefs had as many first downs yesterday, 30, as the Raiders had total offensive plays ran, 30.
It's not good.
Well, that is nuts.
And it's the second fewest
you want-
offensive plays ever in an NFL game.
Wow.
30 offensive plays. And remember, the Chiefs were taking a knee with 2.5 minutes left.
Yeah.
Yeah, how so this comes kind of full circle now to talk about how the Chiefs are like, okay, we thought that they weren't the Chiefs anymore, but apparently they are, and it's the same old story.
I'm not fully
in
ready
the
to do
AFC.
that yet, though. But yeah.
Oh, getting Pacheco back helped, and then Rashee Rice.
Rashee Rice is back now.
Like, now they have a whole unit back together. Like, they're putting up a lot of points back-to-back weeks. Remember last year, or was it 2 years ago? Yeah, last year. They had trouble reaching, like, the 24-point mark.
Yeah.
They were winning games like 2017,
The big story would be they'd find a way to win, which is true. They would find a way to win, but now, you mentioned they get Rashee Rice back. Well, guess what? They still got Xavier Worthy. They still got Hollywood Brown. They still got Juju Smith-Schuster. And the Bills got Keon Coleman and Josh Palmer.
Yeah.
Like, how do we think we're going to compete with that?
You don't. At least not on paper in terms of
And don't forget
assembled.
Curtis Samuel, who got, $27 million.
Who's out? Who's out, so.
I mean, the Bills could have got Juju Smith-Schuster at one point. The only thing that so if you're looking at it, you got to say, well, we got James Cook, he's way better than Pacheco or Kareem Hunt. That's true. That's good.
Is Kareem out, by the way, for a little bit?
I don't know.
He got, that leg looked bad yesterday.
And we got Josh Allen, and they got Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that's kind of a push, right? So what's the difference? Well, I just named off all those receivers, and, we got Keon Coleman and Josh Palmer and Shavers.
I'll take Kincaid over
Samuel.
Kelsey right now.
That's a tough one. I mean, I guess if you're looking in long term, but single season at this point, Kelsey's got obviously way more experience, especially when you get to the postseason.
I think Kincaid gives you more juice.
Yeah.
Kelsey, I mean, he's still there, still a threat. I mean, the Raiders just can't play defense, so he's wide open.
Yeah, that was my thing with like the things
Kelsey looked
yesterday.
but
like, the fact that they allowed him to bust out in a cover too, I'm like, what is happening? Like,
they got Andy Reid.
It's true. He might be the only true great coach in the NFL right now, but moving over that. So
and we won't even start with the defense. The Kansas City secondary is certainly better than the Bills secondary.
Oh, for sure.
Buffalo's got the better kicker.
Maybe, yeah.
Prater only has one miss. Bucker's missed wide right numerous times this
Now
year.
you just jinxed.
Right.
I'm kidding. I don't believe that.
So
anyways, just saying, here we are.
The NFL's wide open. In other
yeah,
words.
no, for sure.
It is. I just don't know if the Bills have the weapons that inspire a ton of confidence
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to right now, right? I
You're
mean,
basically relying on Allen to
Yeah.
make it happen.
But again, remember, we had this conversation last year. I even thought myself,
100%.
and Amari Cooper was doing nothing. We kept coming in, talking about it, but they found a way. James Cook, had his career year, and
Right. It was about at this time last year.
No,
that the
literally
Bills
it was.
the Bills were falling apart.
We tracked it last week. It literally is not quite date, but week wise, it's literally the same.
yeah, last Monday was when they lost in Houston.
Yeah.
It was the 1 year mark.
Got blown out.
Following on the heels of that Baltimore game.
Khalil Shakir was hurt for those 2 games.
Yeah.
He was trying to play, and then the receivers were not doing anything. We kept talking about it. Cooper got traded for right after the Jets traded for Devontae Adams.
All right, yeah.
And
Can you imagine if the Bills had Devontae Adams? He had 3 touchdowns yesterday. So
Tremendous for
let me just
fans.
bring up this point. Okay, great. This is like last year, and then everything ended up being okay, I guess. I guess it came okay, but the Bills didn't go to the Super Bowl last year. I mean,
Correct.
that's what we're looking for
Right.
here.
Right.
And the window's closing, and Drake May's coming up, and, if not now, when?
I think the only reason why, at least in my opinion, I don't know if you feel the same way, Kyle, in this sense, but the only reason why I go back to last year is the fact that there is a path, right? We aren't about to write off this season by any means. There is a path very clearly there.
Yeah, they're going to get in the playoffs, and we'll see
Yeah.
what happens. But,
Right.
again,
No, but to that end, I agree with you, where it's just okay, but you have to be better than what it was last year.
and what makes you think, or any of us think, that it is going to be better than last year?
Not right now, no.
especially now, I think the Chiefs scare me more this year than they did last
Yeah, they're
year.
definitely stronger than they were last year.
And then, yes, the Chargers were the team that emerged last year, but this year it's the Colts.
And the Chargers are still hanging around. There's a ton of teams. And the Steelers have Aaron Rodgers and are looking good. I mean, there's tons of more competition.
Cincinnati's alive somehow. I mean,
Yeah,
Joe
Flacco.
Flacco. Is he elite? We time to reopen that discussion.
if Joe Burrow gets back, I'm not saying Joe Burrow's going to come back and do great, but I'm saying if they keep their season alive, Joe
Right.
Burrow, you just don't know.
Right.
You don't know what could happen.
There's more competition for the Bills this year at this point, if you're looking at the AFC playoff picture, than
Right.
there was last year.
I agree with that, yeah.
The Bills are arguably less well-staffed
For
on
whatever
both sides of the
yeah.
ball than they were last year.
For whatever reason, the league-wide parity this year,
It's a thing.
it's very real. And look, I don't know. It wasn't like this free agent cycle this past summer was crazy. You know what I mean? There was nothing super insane outside of maybe Devontae, obviously going to the Rams or something like that. But
I think it's simply
then.
just game planning.
yeah,
I mean, teams think that a team's going to come in and play the way they did last week, but they have stuff dialed up completely different that teams just don't see on film. I heard Atlanta was running some stuff on defense that the Bills had not seen the whole week on film.
Right. So then you're live
smart
in the
coaching.
game trying to figure out what the heck, how you're going to respond to that
right.
on the fly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, good coaching, good game planning, good schemes.
It sticks out to me. I don't know if you guys were watching Sunday Night Football last night or anything like
was.
that, but it caught my attention. And mind you, talk about certified whatever. I will be the certified Kyle Shanahan hater because I hate the Shanahan family as a whole. But Chris Collinsworth brought up a good point. You would think in a Kyle Shanahan offense they would be very run first and everything, but yet he's making this passing offense work with Mac Jones right now. I think that really just kind of sums up what the league is like right now, right? Where it's just who the hell knows what you're going to see week in, week out, right? Because next week, the 49ers going to turn around, you might see a classic from 2022 CMC game where he just busts out for 150 yards. So you never know.
Well, he
He
didn't
had a
have
big
that
game last night.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean. Where
all their
He
offense.
had to be their leading receiver.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, he did all their offense literally. 2
on the
touchdowns
ground. So
and receiving.
true, yeah, but it's crazy.
Kittle came back and did
And
nothing.
0 catches. That's what I mean. McCaffrey was their whole
That
offense.
Tongs dude is gonna take over his job quick.
He didn't do anything either
It goes to
yesterday.
show you how much of a fraud Atlanta is. Go lose 30-0 in Carolina, beat the Bills on Monday night off a bye, and then go to San Fran and 10 points?
Yeah.
That with the talent that's on that team.
They had a
Against some
similar.
banged up Niners. He would know Nick Bosa.
They had a similar thing to last
Or
week.
Fred Warner.
They had a similar deal to last week with Buffalo, where first half was really good,
That
second
too.
half was not as.
They've scored 13 points in their last 5 quarters.
Yeah.
The 49ers.
Yeah.
Jacksonville, too. Frauds.
Yes.
Go to London.
I'll sign up.
Oh my God! I keep trying to think that Jacksonville's better than they are. And
Remember, they
think-
beat the Chiefs by coming back down double digits.
I think part of
they
it,
look like
and
so bad.
I think part of this, and join me in this kumbaya moment, everybody. Just accept Trevor Lawrence as an average quarterback.
For sure.
He just is what he is, and it's okay.
His moments, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, he's finally... no.
And it's okay. It's okay. He won't be the reason you lose a game, but he won't be a reason you win a game.
With that talent, they should not get embarrassed like they did yesterday.
And I agree with that.
The running game, the receivers, I mean, no excuse to get embarrassed like that.
So, all right, that's all I got pretty much for this week, guys. I don't think there's really anything else. It's the beauty of the bye week. Not a ton really to initially talk about anyway. Can
We
kind
had
of
a lot to talk about today.
wider view. What do
We
we
talked about a lot.
No, right. What I'm saying though is like it's just a nice wider view of
Yeah,
everything.
and now we got to get back to the grind, the week-to-week grind,
Yeah.
And get ready for the 1 o'clock games. 3 of the next 4 1 o'clock games on Sunday.
Yeah.
and get ready for the road games.
I think the Chiefs
We
game is
got
the only one that's
6
not.
of them to
right?
close the season,
Yeah.
as opposed to only 5 at home. I think.
I think we're 5 weeks away from Thursday night against the Texans
Mhm.
in Houston, where I don't know what's wrong, but they were bad last year.
On Amazon Prime, and then looking at the schedule, Kansas City's at home, Tampa Bay's at home, Bengals are at home, Eagles are at home. The toughest games are at home.
Yeah.
You got Carolina on the road, Miami on the road, Houston on the road, at Pittsburgh. Actually, that's a tough one. At New England, a tough one. But
Yeah, I mean the what is it, 2-1 though? Those games are at home, so take that.
yeah,
Take that.
Yep.
All right. I think that does it then officially for the week, guys. So we'll see everybody back
does
here.
Steve Tasker deserve to be in the Hall of Fame?
Oh, we're doing this right now.
You say yes. I say no. I mean, come on.
I mean, the tough part for me is the
love
wide receiver thing is weird for the Hall of Fame. As
We're
is,
talking special teams.
Yeah.
Tasker would be in as a special teams
I
player.
guess. I don't know if that's the case. I still don't. I probably would say no.
I would say no too. But
I
he
don't
was
have the
great.
numbers pulled up to back my case, but I know it's been many years where fans are almost like shocked that he hasn't been inducted. But
Yeah, well, I just saw something about that. I don't know. Figured I'd
he's
throw
been a
it out.
semifinalist multiple times.
He was a big part of those
Hmm.
Super Bowl teams.
Yeah,
Hold on. It's
But
I need
the
to
special
check something
teams.
here.
Special teams guys are tough, man, to put into the Hall of Fame. It's just not wide enough. You're not on the field enough, I guess, compared to other guys.
All right, Andre Reed is in the Hall of Fame.
Of
So,
course,
well, no, I couldn't remember because, like I said, they do.
Thurman Thomas, Andre
Yeah.
Reed, James Lofton.
Oh,
He's in the Hall of Fame.
survey says
Jim Kelly, obviously.
yes. Lofton is in there.
Jim Kelly.
Yes.
Derek or Bruce Smith.
Yeah. Yeah.
That might be it. I can't think of any other Bills.
OJ.
Well, yeah, I was talking more from that era of the Steve Tasker era.
I don't know. I'd say no. I feel bad, but I say no.
I say no, and I don't feel bad. Who cares?
Steve Tasker had 9 touchdown receptions.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense when he mainly played special teams.
Well, I think he was out there too, in certain situations. He had a long career.
7 blocked punts, 204 special team tackles, and of course they're naming how he's the only MVP of the Pro Bowl. Who cares about the Pro Bowl?
Yeah.
I can't believe that, but that was a big thing back in the day. It's like if you were a Pro Bowler and you got
true.
named, like,
No, that's
wow. But
you got to go
nowadays
to
it's
Hawaii.
laughable.
Yeah, the Pro Bowl was a joke.
Yeah. You want to play tic-tac-toe?
And he played in all 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great Buffalo Bill, great locker room guy, heart of the team type of guy, but Pro Football Hall of Fame,
Nah.
Calling him blazing fast and a fearless gunner.
fearless gunner.
Yeah. I don't know. I I definitely won't say no. I think there are more deserving people who aren't in anyway who should be in above them. So
I'm not a fan of Hall of Fames. Period.
it's just glorified museums. At
You
the end
win.
of the
You
day.
know, you win titles.
Yeah.
You know, that's not subjective.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame stuff is subjective.
That's why if there's just one, I just prefer the way the basketball does it. And it's just like, were you good? Cool, you're in. Well, at least it's like you're getting. Sure, there are people in there who probably shouldn't be, but at least you got the people who deserve to be in are in. Like,
Yeah.
Unlike freaking baseball or football, where it's just like, what are we doing? So.
All right.
Oh,
Go
well.
Bills.
Yeah, go Bills. All right, back at it again next Monday, following the game at Carolina next Sunday. You can find Bills Weekly and all other podcasts here on FingerLakes1.com, on FL1, the FL1 YouTube channel, and all major podcasting platforms. 10 a.m. next Monday. We'll see you then. Let's go, Buffalo.
Finger Lakes one time.